1923 Season 2's shocking death solved Yellowstone's John Dutton grandfather mystery. A shocking death in 1923 Season 2, Episode 6, may have just answered the question about who John Dutton is. Kevin Costner, grandfather, is in Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan revealed John Dutton's father, John Dutton, to you. Downey Coleman, in Yellowstone Season 2, Episode 10, Sins of the Father. However, we still don't understand how John Dutton IA and his father connect to the rest of the Dutton family tree. Yellowstone fans have a pretty extensive understanding of John's ancestors from Sheridan's Yellowstone prequels about the Dutton family, 1883 and 1923. Still, how John and his father connect to the earlier members of their family tree remains one of Yellowstone's mysteries about the Dutton family. That said, it's pretty clear from John Dutton II's ripe age in the Yellowstone flashback that John Dutton II was born around the 1920s, meaning his father is one of 1923's characters. Both Spencer, Brandon Sklinner, and Jack Dutton's, Darren Mann, wives were pregnant leading up to 1923 Season 2, Episode 6. But the chapter ruled one of them out as the man who would go on to be Costner's character's grandfather. Leading up to the onset of the Dutton family's war with Donald Whitfield, Timothy Dalton, and Banner Creighton, Jerome Flynn, Jack Dutton dies in 1923 Season 2, Episode 6, The Mountain Teeth of Monsters, when his uncle Jacob, Harrison Ford, positions him at the Dutton Lodge as the family awaits Spencer's arrival. The impulsive Jack is initially aggravated that he is tasked with guard duty rather than heading to the train station. Jacob had convinced Jack that guarding Kara, Helen Mirren, and Elizabeth Strafford, Michelle Randolph, was the most important thing. But Jack broke from the protocol, and it cost him his life. In Yellowstone Season 4, John Dutton revealed an ominous fact about his grandfather from 1923. In Phantom Pain, John Dutton relays to Jimmy Herdstrom, Jefferson White, that his grandfather lost his leg, and the worst pain he ever felt was in his toes after his limb was gone. Since Jack's death officially adds to the list of shocking Dutton family deaths, and his character won't live past 1923, then we can say with some certainty that Spencer will be John Dutton's grandfather, since there's no one else in the family tree with the right age or circumstances. John Dutton is elderly in the Yellowstone Season 4 flashback. While we don't know what year it was exactly, Kevin Costner plays John Dutton in the memory, so we can safely say the flashback takes place after the late 1990s, since Josh Lucas plays John his earlier years. That has caused the prediction that John Dutton was born between 1924 and 1930 and died between 1999 and 2003 via Yellowstone.fandom.com. So John Dutton was about 80 years old in the flashback to his death, meaning Jack or Spencer fathering him in the 1920s is the most feasible. Little else is known about John Dutton other than he was presumably a fourth-generation Dutton, since John Dutton II is a fifth-generation rancher and Coleman's character is his father. That said, Spencer is a second-generation Dutton, so while it makes sense now that the war hero is the grandfather Kevin Costner mentions, since it can't be Jack, it also doesn't make sense that Spencer is John Dutton Hugh's father, since their connection skips a generation. If Spencer is John Dutton IE's grandfather, and that seems evident at this point, the generational gap is an error. Still, perhaps there's another explanation. Considering Jack and Spencer are the only two Duttons who could be John Dutton Hugh's father, it could be that Jack and Elizabeth's son would still be John Dutton Hugh. It could be that Elizabeth Strafford, wanting to return to Boston after the family's war, eventually sends her son to live on his family's ranch, and becoming like a father to him, Spencer raises John Dutton too, eventually becoming like a grandfather to his child, John Dutton II. Therefore, when Kevin Costner's John refers to his grandfather, he could very well be talking about Spencer, meaning the 1923 main character loses a leg. The adoptive family explanation would make John Dutton II a fourth-generation Dutton, since Jack, as John Dutton's, James Badge Dale, son and James Dutton's, Tim McGraw, grandson, is the only third-generation family member so far. We also know from 1923 Season 2's trailer that Elizabeth stays and defends the ranch, proving her loyalty, making it possible that Spencer and Alex, Julia Schlapfer, could partially raise John Dutton II. After James and Margaret's, Faith Hill deaths, adoptive families become a key element of 1923. The alternative explanation for John Dutton's connection to his ancestors builds on that core theme. The Yellowstone universe has always been a web of intrigue, legacy, and bloodlines, but 1923 Season 2 is poised to deliver its most shocking twist yet. A death that unravels the mystery of John Dutton's grandfather once and for all. The question of John Dutton IE's direct lineage has long puzzled fans, with different branches of the family tree offering conflicting clues. However, as 1923 Season 2 unfolds, the grim truth behind the Dutton family's past will finally be unearthed, tying together generations of struggle, sacrifice, and vengeance. Spencer Dutton's fate, the turning point. Since the first season of 1923, Spencer Dutton has emerged as a key player in the fight to protect the Yellowstone Ranch. Having faced death in Africa, endured a harrowing sea voyage, and fought for love with Alexandra, Spencer's resilience has made him a fan favorite. But with danger closing in on the Duttons from all sides, both from within Montana and from shadowy adversaries beyond, his fate is precarious. In a devastating twist, 1923 Season 2 will reportedly see Spencer make the ultimate sacrifice, dying in an attempt to preserve the family's legacy. This pivotal moment not only reshapes the future of the Duttons, but also unlocks a mystery long buried beneath the weight of history. The hidden heir, John Dutton's grandfather, revealed. For years, fans have speculated about the true identity of John Dutton IE's grandfather. Is it Spencer, or does the line continue through another Dutton entirely? The revelation comes as Spencer, fatally wounded, confesses to Alexandra that he has a child he never knew about. Before embarking on his journey back to Montana, Spencer had a fleeting romance in Africa, one that left behind a son. This child, raised far from the Yellowstone Ranch, is unknowingly the missing link in the Dutton lineage. Meanwhile, Jacob and Kara Dutton have long struggled to keep the ranch afloat, with Jacob aging and their hold on the land becoming increasingly tenuous. But as Spencer's shocking secret surfaces, the truth is undeniable. Spencer's lost child is none other than John Dutton Jr.'s father, making him the missing piece of the puzzle that connects 1923 to Yellowstone. The aftermath of Spencer's death. Spencer's tragic demise sets off a chain reaction within the Dutton family. Alexandra, devastated by the loss, embarks on a mission to find the son Spencer never knew, a quest that takes her across continents. Upon returning to Montana, she confronts Jacob and Kara, revealing the child's existence and forever altering the Dutton family's future. With the ranch on the brink of collapse and enemies circling, Jacob makes a fateful decision. He will name Spencer's son as his rightful heir. This shocking twist cements the boy's place in the Dutton bloodline, ensuring that the Yellowstone Ranch remains within the family, even if the path to the present-day Duttons was forged in tragedy. Why this twist changes everything. This revelation fundamentally reshapes the Yellowstone mythology, answering lingering questions about John Dutton IE's ancestry. Until now, fans have speculated whether Spencer or his brother Jack Dutton was the direct ancestor, but the truth, Spencer's unknown son. adds a new layer of complexity to the family's storied past. By tying John Dutton IE's lineage back to Spencer, 1923 Season 2 delivers a poetic and heartbreaking resolution. Spencer's sacrifice echoes through the generations, shaping the very foundation of the Dutton legacy. It also explains why John Dutton II in Yellowstone never speaks of his grandfather in great detail, because his existence was shrouded in secrecy, a mystery buried deep in the past. The Dutton family's future. With this revelation, 1923 Season 2 not only strengthens the connections between Yellowstone and its prequel series, but also reaffirms the central theme of the franchise. The land is preserved through the blood and sacrifice of the Duttons. Spencer's death ensures the survival of his lineage, making him a tragic yet pivotal figure in the family's history. As the season unfolds, Alexandra's quest to reunite the lost heir with the Dutton legacy will undoubtedly be filled with danger, intrigue, and emotional weight. With Jacob and Kara's time running out, the fate of the Yellowstone Ranch will rest on a child who never knew his origins, a boy destined to carry on the Dutton name. Conclusion. The shocking death in 1923 Season 2 will not only shake the foundations of the Dutton family, but also solve one of the greatest mysteries of the Yellowstone saga. Spencer Dutton's ultimate sacrifice and the revelation of his lost child will connect the past and present in a way fans never saw coming.